Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Magnum Muscle collide. We had a mixed tag street fight, and we also had the Miserably Faithful and the Southern Six. Yes, that was NWA Power. I am your host, Adam Cousins, and yeah, I'm not left on my own this week. I was binned for the Godfather and Papa Shango last week, and I don't know why
Sorry.
you. Yeah, but she's back this week. It's Fiona. Good evening.
Hello. Did you miss me?
No.
Like the hole in the head.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've been binned for Papa Shango. I don't know what's next.
No comment.
Yeah, no comment. Yeah, were you in court? The trial of Fiona Lochran. No, but how was it anyway?
He was brilliant. Entertaining first night. Kenny and Papa got tore into some Jack Daniels, and yeah, it was interesting. But we stopped the alcohol for the rest of the shows. It went really well. He's got some good stories to tell. He definitely is a gentleman that I wouldn't mess with. Um, and yeah, he was a lot of fun. He had some good stories to tell. I enjoyed. I had 3 days with him, and I loved it. He was great to be around.
Bundles of fun with Papa Shango instead of having
Yes.
a 30-minute conversation with me for your NWA fans across the world. Or
Don't
because
make me feel bad.
you're a poster girl now. You're a wrestling poster girl now.
One poster. One.
It's one more than me. One more. Anyway, let's get on. Return to Robots Part 2
Mhm.
this week. The opening was all about Magnum Muscle, and after
Yeah.
Joe and the boys, Timmy Thunder and good old Danny Dills, welcomed us to the show. That's exactly what it started with. It was a 6:05 time limit.
It was.
Very slow. This was, sorry, Dax Draper and Mims for the TV title. Tag team partners collide. I thought it was really slow at first.
It was. They were kind of having a little dance round the ring, round each other, not quite. But then they got into it
They
quite
did.
quickly after that, and it really looked like Draper had the upper hand for a fair chunk of that match
I think
once
he
they
did.
finally got into it.
He did. There was lots of near falls, mainly from Draper. Then there was a couple here and there from Mims, coincidentally, who we're speaking to. But it will be tonight when this goes out, so we'll be speaking to Mims a bit more about that. And then they did hit. Draper did hit a big blue thunder bomb, to which Mills then rolls out. Mims rolls out the ring. Then and the time limit expired while he was out of the ring. He did get asked for 5 more minutes, but he was very quickly to shut that down.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I kind of don't blame him. I'm kind of like, look, it was a 6:05 stipulation, and if you can't get the job done, then you can't get the job done.
No, and the champion always retains on a 6:05. It was a great thing actually. So now I think it was more of a technical thing for Mims at the start, just to slow the pace down, tick that clock away.
Yeah, definitely. I guess smart move, really, from a champ.
Yeah, well, champion's advantage. You got to take advantage if you've got an advantage
Absolutely.
as champion.
Absolutely.
So he did, and he's still the champion. Although Draper didn't lose either, so we don't know if we're going to get that match again.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I've got a funny feeling that there might be a round two, but who knows?
Well, there should be one with a definitive winner, that's for sure. I think that's where we have to ask Mims tomorrow what his feelings are on that. We can
Exactly.
ask him that question. We went backstage at that point with one of our favorite tag teams in NWA, Mr. Blunt Force Trauma and Aaron Stevens.
Always great on the mic. Honestly, I cannot rate him high enough.
He was very, very good, as always. He always had a lot to say. But he did mention in 2 weeks they're putting the titles on the line against the Fixers.
Mm,
That's going to be a big meat slapper.
yeah, I bet against Bradley and Legursky. So interesting one that.
Yeah, I don't know what I feel.
That's going to be four big lads in the ring, and the fixers can go.
Oh yeah.
Well, we know blunt force trauma can go, but the fixers can go. So I think that's going to be fun. I'm actually quite looking forward to that one.
And I'm guessing 2 weeks will be when the next Power is, because they did say that it's on next week, but I think it's more
It's a Christmas special on Tuesday because it's
Christmas
airing
special.
on Boxing Day. So
Yeah. Don't
the
know what.
last Christmas special I remember, Joe was drunk.
Oh, okay.
It aired, or drunk. It did air with Joe in his house, which was the NWA studio.
Right.
It was actually quite funny. Joe in his tartan suit, drunk Joe. It was
Drunk,
entertaining.
drunk Joe guy. Lucky enough, he wasn't drunk when he was on with us not too long ago. Or was you getting flashbacks to your last with the Godfather and co? Perhaps no. Anyway, let's swiftly move on. It was Idol and Markova against Kamille and Latimer in a street
Yeah.
fight.
I quite like the wee nickname they've got, the looks that kill.
The looks that kill, when it was against, was it the Power couple? I think they.
Yeah. So I'm sure, maybe I'm having a moment, but I'm sure we'd seen these four go up against each other before,
Couple.
fairly recently.
Mm.
Fairly recently. But I really enjoyed this. It's Tom and Kamille. What's not to love about them? Let's be honest here. I'm a fan. I'm not even going to hide that fact. They're actually over in the UK at the moment, so I hope you're
Oh, I
enjoying your
know.
holidays ahead.
I've had a few conversations with Kamille about clotted cream and the weather
Yep.
here in the UK. Big shout out to Kamille and Latimer over here. Merry Christmas to you guys.
um,
Enjoy the
but
cold.
that was great. That was that. I
Oh,
loved the match. It was
wonderful.
all over Robarts.
That's what I put. It was fighting everywhere, even into the crowd at one.
Yep.
There was a Tower of Doom spot, and then Kamille tried to hit the spear, to which she actually nailed Latimer
She took her boy out, she took out her man, and that gave Markova the perfect opportunity
to hit the
to,
double. Oh, sorry, to
yeah.
hit the double on DDT and to finally pin Kamille.
It's been a long time coming.
Mm.
A long time coming.
It has. It does make me wonder, though, was that the last time we see Kamille in NWA?
I don't think so.
No?
I'm not convinced. I know there's been a lot of talk about her recently because she's not renewed her contract, and so to speak. But I don't know. I hope it's not.
I hope it's not as well, because I mean, it just seemed kind of fitting, though, that Markova finally getting one over on Kamille before she
Yeah,
departed.
I wouldn't want to see Kamille leave though on a loss.
Mhm.
So
True. Well, we don't know. That's the what was the old thing? Watch this space was what we've been
yeah,
doing
wait and
quite a
see.
lot.
Watch this space exactly. It's NWA. Anything's possible. Let's be honest.
It certainly is. We went back then to EC3, who was responding to Matt Cardona's match. Matt Cardona requested a death match at
Yeah.
Paranoia, to which EC3 said, "No, we're not going to have a death match. We're going to have an ult."
The ultimate match of death.
There you go. I couldn't have put it any better myself. So the ultimate match of death, which has now been signed, sealed, and delivered for Paranoia, EC3 against Mike Cardona for the NWA Heavyweight Championship in the ultimate match of death, as you so kindly put it.
Whatever that is.
From what we've seen recently on these shows, I just beg a belief of what that's going to be. Sounds like something Matt Hardy would say when he was Broken Matt.
I loved Broken Matt, but that's a whole other story.
That is a whole other story for another time. But it is happening in a few weeks. The ultimate match of death. I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure, but certainly think the EC3 will be retaining at that point. I can't see him losing, surely.
I don't know. It's the Deathmatch King he's going up against.
I think he could be heading to Impact Wrestling, though.
Ooh,
Impact are
okay.
announcing a big free agent signing, Hard to Kill, which is, it's on the same day. So it probably won't be him. Actually, I think it's either that or on the day after, when they've got a
Right,
second show,
okay.
aren't they? Because they're doing two
They've
shows.
got two shows. NWA have got two shows that night. So they're
Yeah.
doing Paranoia and then they're running with CCW,
Hmm.
which our old friend Martin Stone will be on. He is
Wicked.
on the card for that.
Excellent stuff. Shout out to Martin Stone. Good luck to him in that one. We'll have to keep an eye on, well, whether we can watch it or not. It's another story for another time, but
We'll
we'll be
talk
able
about
to.
that later.
We'll talk later, yeah, about that. Hopefully we can, because it'd be good to see Martin, especially if Martin Stone's on the card. It'd be great to see him. before we got to, we had only a couple of matches on this week, which was quite
Mm.
um because we're just about to get to the six man. But before that, Carl Davis interviewed the Southern Six in fine form as ever. They did mention the chance of light snow.
I know. I've just written beside that. Always a slight chance of snow, and then I've just written no AT beside that. I'm like, don't go there.
Yeah, we've been there, seen it, and done it with that quite well.
Kyle has his work cut out with that lot. I swear to God.
Very non-complimentary of the people in attendance, the Southern
But
Six.
I
So
thought it was a great promo from
it,
Silas.
it was, yeah. When Silas got on the mic, that was when everything all changed. I have to admit, the
Yeah.
other two were just geeking off about being in Sarasota, but when Silas got the mic, it was certainly a bit more serious. Although he did slate the fans as well. But I thought it was weird that I had this feeling that the Miserably faithful were heels as well. I
They
don't know.
were very over.
Oh, salivation, I've got written down.
Salivation. Sal and Ollie's White. Because obviously they came out, didn't they? With James Mitchell.
Yeah.
Sal dressed like an angel, all in white, which was lovely to see.
I know, yeah.
Um, but yeah, there was I didn't quite catch the comment from Father James, but Kyle shut it down very quickly again.
Yeah, I can't quite remember myself what he
I
was
think
saying.
it's got something to do with going back to Samhain and what happened at Samhain that we will not discuss. But
The light chance of snow being there.
yeah, but it was something along the lines of a party, and and Kyle
Ah,
was like, "No, we're not going there again."
yeah, they better shut that one down pretty quick. So
Yeah,
I'm glad
that would be
this
sensible.
match was the main event. But it was actually more competitive than what I was thinking it was going to be. Certainly more.
Very much so.
Go on.
Gags took the heat straight off the bat. Poor Gags. Like he got an absolute kicking initially.
He did, and it felt as if they were trying their best not to tag in Talos
Yep.
for whatever reason. Maybe it was to keep him.
No, Jedias, not Talos.
Sorry, Judias. Sorry, I got Talos. Well, I'm thinking of
Two
Dave.
big guys.
Two big guys. Sorry, Talos. Yeah, I just moved my notes over because I'm thinking that we're coming to the end, and I wish I didn't because that's why I got the name wrong. Trying not their best not to tag Judias in for whatever reason, but when he come in, he made a big difference.
He did. Like he literally was taking them on three at a time,
Yeah, literally
which
without.
was awesome. I actually really enjoyed that.
So did I. And Kerry done a massive oversell in that. Did you see? I think Gags hit him with a move. And Kerry just sort of decided to try and do his rock stunner impression, I think, just the other way around and just like flew. And then Thrillbilly grabs Gags's tongue. Gags got the tongue out.
He did.
That just sounds
I
so
still
wrong.
can't deal with that, honestly.
This just sounds like we're having a totally different conversation. Anyway, Gags got his tongue out, to which Thrillbilly pulls the tongue and then, well, basically finishes him off.
Yeah, and then pulls Kerry out because Kerry's out. Kerry's actually the legal man. Pulls Kerry over for the pin, and the Southern Six win that one. So
7-6 keep on rolling. It was a very it felt very they're like three matches. It was really
it felt like a short show because there was only three matches. It
yeah,
was very much a 45-minute show last
it
night,
was. Yeah.
which kind of ties in with a potential TV deal or whatever when you factor in the USA in particularly all the multiple ad breaks and things like
Yeah.
that. So most of your hour-long slot time's actually only 45-minute viewing time when you add the ads in. So yeah.
Very short. I
It was
did.
a decent show.
Oh yeah, the
Robarts
show
were
was
good.
fine. Yeah. It was
The
fine.
crowds were great.
As always.
I quite enjoyed it last night. To be honest with you, actually 3 matches in 45 minutes is actually not bad. I think
No.
that's a fairly decent. I quite like a slightly more stacked show.
Mm,
But I like the segments in this one. I think it very
yeah.
much depends on what the segments are like. So I enjoyed the segments with Kyle in this. So there only been 3 matches. Didn't bother me this week, but other weeks it might potentially annoy me.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I thought it was because I couldn't believe I was sitting there going, hang on a minute, this is the main event. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
but they didn't even do anything with Danny Deals at backstage with his deal with
No.
selling stuff off. either.
Nothing at all. Nothing with him and Candy. Try to flog the merch or whatever. I'll be honest with you, that whole 15-second thing doesn't work for me.
No,
The whole I love Danny and I love his whole flogging of the merch and stuff, but when they cut it off deliberately, I'm
they
kind of
do.
like,
Yeah.
it's just a bit stupid and a bit doesn't really make any sense to me. But what do I know?
What do you know? But that was it. I mean, that is really it. That was it of Power this week. It was free,
Short and sweet.
short and sweet fun. But Fee, obviously, as it's coming up to Christmas, but you're still busy. You've still got stuff going down. So what have you got
I
going?
do. So, where are we? So Friday night, it's PBW Academy Attacks, which is the Premier British Wrestling training school.
Yep.
They have a show every Christmas for their trainees. So for some of the guys, it's the first time they've been in the ring in front of a crowd. We just invite all their family and their friends to come and let them see what the guys and girls have been getting up to in the last year. So that'll be fun. Loads of new faces for me to announce and try not to mess their names up. A couple of the old school will be there. So Krieger will be there, David Blaze will be there. I don't know who else will be there, but I know the two of them there. And then Saturday night we have our PBW night out, Christmas night out.
Lovely.
So that'll be fun in games. We are doing the under 18 friendly version prior to the trip for the grown-ups to the casino. So that'll be fun. And then on the 27th, 28th, and 29th, which is just next week, which is crazy. I've got 3 shows with Worldwide Wrestling League, aka W3L. They are being recorded, at least New Year's Fight is being recorded for Progress on Demand.
Brilliant.
I know that we have Nina Samuels joining us on one of those shows. We are in Petticoat Bay Holiday Park in Fife. We are in Gala Shields, and we are in, I think it's Broxburn. Don't quote me on that though, but we've got 3 of them. And then the calendar's already filling up for 2024, which is exciting.
Very
So
exciting.
good
Nina,
times.
Nina Samuels is great. We had her recently at Ignite, and she was brilliant with her Nina Samuels show, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun.
She's
It's her versus Emily Hayden. So Nina Samuels versus Wrestle Beach. So that'll be good.
that'd be very, very good. So with our turnbuckle title, I think it's cursed. I
Oh
really do.
no,
So we've lost Doris.
I saw
Unfortunately,
that.
he's
But you've
got.
announced a replacement.
I'm just about to. Bear with me.
Ah.
Bear with me. Doris obviously has now got bookings in the States, and you can't turn the bookings in the States down. So I said to the good CJ Carter Ignite, go and get a reputable replacement. And he did. By the name of Eddie Dennis will be coming in to take on Mike for the title. So Eddie Dennis.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry, Eddie effing Dennis, I believe.
I get it right.
Get it right, because he'll no doubt pull me up on that. So that is going to be February the 4th. So it'll be our champion Smashing Mike will go one-on-one with Eddie Dennis, all being well. We literally had 2 matches and 2 pullouts so far. Well, not pullouts, but 2 people we've had to replace in a sense. So hopefully next time it'll be 3rd time lucky. And I think I know who the winner's taking on, but I can't say anything at this stage.
Exciting.
Exciting indeed. Speaking of Progress, today we announced that we've got one of the co-founders of Progress.
I
Lee
saw that.
will be coming on.
Lee's fab. I love Lee. You'll have a really good chat with him. He's a good guy.
I can't wait to meet Lee. I'm sure I met him at Progress, but in a more of an interview capacity. I'm looking forward to meeting Lee. Mims tomorrow, or today when this goes out, but Mims
I'm excited to talk to Mims. I haven't spoken to Mims for ages, so that'll be good to see.
sounds like Keith Lee.
He does a little bit.
He's got a very quiet tone to that big stature of a man. He's just
He
very,
does. It's funny, isn't it? Like when
Yeah.
you meet people or you see them and then you meet them for the first time, you're like, whoa, I did not expect that voice to come from you. It's
Yeah,
very softly spoken. He's lovely.
he seems a cool cat. So we're going to have him tomorrow to find out a bit more about the TV title and if he's going to give Dax a rematch. We'll have to ask the question. I've also
Do you
got.
think he'll know? I was just going to say, do you think he'll know if Paranoia or NWA is going to be on other sources?
If your sources don't know, then I don't think Mims will know. You.
You never know, he might.
You can ask him.
I'm just asking everyone now because no one
Ask
seems to
everyone.
be able to give me an answer, and I'm starting to get really like pissed off about it.
B is pissed, ladies and gentlemen. That means find the answers out NWA and let us know pretty briefly so we can know, so we can watch it and review it. We'd like to watch.
Exactly.
We'd like to
There'll
watch
be
the
no
ultimate match.
podcast if we can't watch it.
I know, and we got to watch the ultimate match of death as well as everything else that will be going on those shows. It's a CW taping though, from what I hear. CW taping doesn't mean it's a pay-per-view, does it?
It's not a premium live event. What have they called it? It's the equivalent of a premium live event. I can't remember what they've named it, but something similar. And it's being recorded for the CW. But what about the rest of us, NWA? Come on, give us an answer.
What about your good friends across the pond and everywhere else that can watch the show? We've also got Brady Pierce. You're going to miss that one, unfortunately.
I know. Boo.
Brady Pierce just after Christmas, talking all things NWA and Iron Claw. So you have to get some
That'll
questions.
be good.
You have to ask, send me some questions.
I will.
Because you're binning me again.
I know. I'm sorry.
Binning me off again. Absolutely.
Blame W3L.
I can't
Nina
blame
Samuels, Brady Pierce.
I've seen Nina Samuels. So Brady Pierce for me because I've had the pleasure of Nina Samuels coming. She's very nice, actually. Ignite, but yeah. So we've got Brady Pierce. Just finalising dates with Brian Clark as well. So Raf, as Dave pulled that one out of the hat on Monday against Eric Bischoff. That was another great one, by the way. Eric was a fantastic interview of Ask Eric Anything, and he said
Go and check it out on our YouTube page.
Go and check that out and look at just bear in mind Dave's very nervous when he asked the first question. That's why it takes about 10 minutes for Dave to get the question out.
It's funny.
Eric found the funny side of it, and he did say it was a good question, and it was, to be fair. It was just very elongated. But Eric has said he would come back on again in 2024, which is fab for us. We love talking to Eric. We could talk to him for ages. But thanks to Eric for that. Brian Clark. Davey Boy Smith Jr. will be joining us soon as well.
Lovely. He's huge, just for the record. He's so tall, like way taller than I expected him to be.
We can reminisce our lunch at WrestleMania 26.
Brilliant.
It's 14 years later, which sounds so stupid to say that. But yeah, we'll be finalising things with him. Potentially the Rev Pro owner as well we're trying to get tie him down, Andy. Andy, not our Andy, but Andy from Rev Pro. So hopefully we get him on too. We've been talking ages and we've hardly spoken NWA because we finished it quite quickly. But
it was a quick show.
It was a quick show, Fee. So I thank you for your wonderful. Thank you for gracing us with your presence for a start. Sorry, I'm lower down the pecking order nowadays, but
Stop it.
Thank you so much, and I will talk to you again tomorrow, of course, when we into Big Strong Mims. But until then, everybody, buckle down and stay safe.